So ComplexCon was last weekend, and I can't rave enough about it. It was such a cool experience. If you're familiar with Complex Magazine is everything encompassing hip hop and culture, food, entertainment, sports, all of those things. And usually ComplexCon is in LA. Well, for the first time last weekend, it was here in Las Vegas. The culture had landed. And I want to share some of the amazing experiences we had there. It was dope, you guys. Usually when you think about a conference, you think about, they set up the tables and the booths and they showcase their products. Absolutely not. This was like installations that were well thought out, that people were waiting in lines just to get into, with exclusive sneaker and clothing releases and music releases, and being able to get up close with celebrities during Q&As within certain installations. So this was extremely well thought out. Shout out to the Las Vegas Convention Center and Complex for, collaborating together, because this was something that the city definitely needs. And I hope that they come back next year. So I wanted to kind of just give you my overall experience. Me and Chris absolutely loved it. We had a chance to do a number of things, including seeing some of our favorite celebrities and interviewing some celebrities as well. We also got a chance to sample some Keith Lee favorites, a whole bunch of food that I'm about to shout out. And we saw Metro Boomin. We saw Travis Scott, who just closed out ComplexCon. Oh my God. It was just people. First of all, people were acting up. We almost tussled a couple times because Travis Scott and his fans, the way they act up to get to the front is crazy. But we'll get into that. So the first thing that really stood out to us was we went to one of the Q&As, and it was a 360 with Speedy. Shout out to Speedy, who has such an amazing platform and podcast. He had the one and only Angel Reese, aka Bayou Barbie, aka Shy Barbie. Okay, she was one of the first speakers that we saw, and I want to share some of her interview. Listen, she's as beautiful in person as she is on social media. So for all of you guys that were wondering, she is fire, okay? And when we were sitting there and Speedy was asking her questions, one of the questions and one of the things that she talked about was about growing up in Baltimore. Shout out to Be More, okay? And always being a girly girl, even while playing the rough sport of basketball.
And I was just super competitive, but I was also really into fashion. So I was super girly, I always had my hair and nails done and lashes and stuff. And people always were like, you can't play basketball with nails, you can't play with hair, you can't do all that stuff. And I was like, you can't tell me what I can do. I always stood on that. You never can tell a woman what they can do. So I stood on that.
She also talked about the feeling during that moment when she got drafted to the WNBA.
I remember I cried on draft night because, obviously I knew I was going to get drafted, but all the hard work, all the days I didn't want to get up, all the days my mom had to get up and take me to practice, and when she didn't feel like doing it, or when somebody didn't feel like doing something, all my dreams finally came true. So it was a really happy, joyful moment, but it was obviously also a point for me to just completely start over. Nothing mattered that I did in college, nothing mattered I did in high school. I could completely start over and get a fresh start.
Speedy also asked her about how she handles hate at this level of success and just being young and beautiful.
It really inspires me to, like I said, continue to wake up every morning and just keep going. I have so many people that do come up to me and are positive to me and say, I love you, keep going, you inspire me. From ages 4 to ages 60, it doesn't matter. People really do genuinely love me, and I try to think of the positive before I think of the negative. And it took me a little minute to get to where I am right now. Obviously, earlier on, I'm like, why do people hate me so much, and why are people so negative? But then I look back at it and look myself in the mirror and knowing who I am and being inspired of who I am, and knowing that one day people will say, I want to be like Angel Reese, or Angel Reese really, really inspired me or touched me.
So this was a really dope interview. It gave us a really great insight as to who she is. And Speedy is just doing a phenomenal job in growing his platform and his podcast. And so shout out to the both of them. It was very insightful, and it was very exciting to see her in person. So shout out to Angel Reese. Okay, so let's transition over now to WWE. Now, before I met Chris, when I was young, I used to love watching WWE, right? I loved Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Steve Austin, all the characters, right? But as I got older, I grew out of it. Well, my husband is still very much a child at heart and still absolutely loves WWE. And so it was really cool to see the installation there for WWE. There was some interactive installations where you could actually walk out like one of your favorite wrestlers. But one that really stuck out to me and a character that I have grown to love is my girl, Bianca Belair. Yes, honey. She is just as beautiful in person as she is in the ring. And she's also tiny like me. Like, I don't think you realize how small or average size some people are until you see them because you have this image in your head. But she's cute, she's beautiful, and she is powerful, okay? Very muscular. Girl, I need the routine. And so I was so excited to show up. This was day 2. Bianca Belair, her fiance Montez Ford, and Jey Uso, who's also one of my favorites from WWE. They did a Q&A in one of the installations, and we were right there in the front row. And again, I almost fangirled a little bit. I know I'm not supposed to be that excited, but I was really excited to see them. And so Bianca spoke about her love for Vegas, right? Because ComplexCon being in Vegas was such an exciting time for everyone. And she pointed out a fun fact about her and her time in Vegas that's very, very similar to me and CB. Take a listen.
We have a lot of memories here in Vegas. I got engaged in Vegas.
Woo!
So.
We did too.
Yeah, we did too.
Yes.
I love. Congratulations. Wait, recently?
October 3rd.
October 3rd?
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you.
So again, huge fan of Bianca Belair. I love everything she stands for. I love everything she talked about, even so much as about her image as a Black woman on WWE, you know, and her husband telling her, you know, the inspiration behind her braid and saying that, you know, why look like everyone else? You know, everyone else's hair is down and you want it to be long and beautiful. He said, no. Do something different. And if they're not going to remember your name, at least they're going to remember you because you'll be the girl, the only girl on that stage with braids. And so she had this group from California come out. They were like little girls. They were dancers. They all had these braids. And she talked about how that moment really meant to her just because representation, it is so important for these young ladies to see themselves in these characters that they watch every day. And Bianca just did such an amazing job explaining that. But the other thing I loved that she talked about was about her experiences on the road. She talked about how, you know, traveling on the road all the time, 200 and something plus shows, traveling with her husband, traveling with her WWE family, and how supportive her family is while she's traveling.
Me and dogs, I think, argue more than me and my husband. But we just go back and forth. But also, it's just like having my families at the show with my daddy. It's really, really, really crazy. Yes. It's a video of him watching the Royal Rumble when I won, and he fell over the back of the couch. And WrestleMania when I won, he tried to jump the barricade. The security guard had to stop him, and so all the yeah, he gets crazy.
So again, it was just a really dope experience to see them up close and personal, and for her to just explain, you know, at the end of the day, this isn't just a fun job, right? That this is dangerous. They get hurt. They're working out all the time. They're on the road all the time. You know, all the glitz and glam is a product of it, but they are really busting their asses out there. And I feel like now as an adult, I have grown a new found respect for the sport because, again, these stunts that they're doing are very real and very dangerous. The training that they do is very rigorous, and they're on the road way more than they even get to see their family. And so big ups to WWE and respect to everyone involved. CB and I also had the privilege of participating in the Emirates NBA Cup 2024 and the Creator Cup in 2024. Now, this was one of the installations, the NBA installations at ComplexCon. It was really dope. They had basically a full-size court out there, and they had Q&As. 2 Chainz was out there. CB was even out there trying to shoot some shots. And, you know, this Emirates Cup is a chance for the athletes to really get out there and compete for more championship style tournaments outside of the big, you know, NBA finals and stuff like that. So we actually had a chance to sit down with basketball legend Gary Payton about the Emirates Cup at the ComplexCon, and this is what he had to say.
Well, you know, it was a good thing when the NBA brought it up. You know, last year I was here and then I watch the Lakers win it and things like that. It's good in competitiveness for the teams because it makes them want to fight more and get a championship and have the right to brag.
There was some definite WNBA appearances, legends, and countless photo opportunities, including opportunities to take a picture with the NBA Cup trophy, which of course we did. You could see and find all those pictures on my social at summithourvegas.com. And the other thing that Chris and I are really excited about, which is upcoming, okay, so if you're tuning in, this is upcoming, the Creator Cup. Now, the Creator Cup is super cool, right? It's famed basketball, Instagram and TikTok influencers. I talked to Brianna Green. I talked to Chris Staples. And they basically did all types of stuff while they were there, including half court and backward shots and all types of stuff while they were there at ComplexCon. And the fans were really just so excited to learn about the 2024 NBA Creator Cup. And this is really going to bring top media, social media, basketball stars together. They're going to play head to head in a showdown on Sunday, December 15th. And this is in tandem with the Emirates NBA Cup semifinals on Saturday, December 14th. And the championship game is Tuesday, December 17th at T-Mobile Arena. So again, if you're interested in going to any of these games or want to go to the championship game, on my social, Summit Hour Vegas, and go ahead and check it out. Get your tickets. They were really trying to bring the NBA into ComplexCon because we all know with hip hop, fashion, sneakers, entertainment, sports is right there with it. So I spoke with Brianna Green and I spoke with Chris Staples, who are two of the content creators and basketball influencers that are participating in the Creator Cup. And this is what they had to say.
And just being here with the NBA is just an amazing opportunity. And then having the NBA Cup, which is very new. And so just to be able to work with the NBA in fashions like this and meet some of the great, celebrities and just great people is an amazing opportunity.
A couple other things to note at ComplexCon. The food, shout out to Trill Burger from Houston. The food, the burgers were phenomenal. Shout out to Frankenson, Sorry Not Sorry, Lotus of Siam, Irv's Burgers, and Bulldoggies. We love each and every one of you. We've probably eaten there more times than we should. Frankinson's, this was my first time. They've been low-key stalking me online, and I had no idea if it was the real guy or not, but it was, and it was really funny to run into him and see him. But the food was fantastic. They really hit the nail on the head with all the food, so shout out to that. The gin and juice installation, shout out to Dre and Snoop. Whoever does your social media, I love y'all because every time I post, y'all are really quick to repost me, and I love that. So shout out to whoever your social media person is because they are on it. They are not playing no damn games on there. Again, installation was really cool, really interactive. They had merch, and this was pretty much the theme for all of them. You may have had to wait in line for some of them, but it was worth it once you got inside because, I mean, when I say people were walking out with bags, honey, they were not playing around. Bags, shoulders, knees, and toes probably hurt from as many bags as I saw people carrying. So, people were in there not only to slay, but to pay money, okay? Because the fashion and everything was incredible. So one of my favorite installations was the Nike installation, the Air Max 1000s, right? They're the new shoes coming out this spring that are 3D printed. Now, usually these types of shoes I don't really jive with because they either look like boats or spaceships or I don't know. They be trying to do too much futuristic stuff with these new shoes. But these shoes I actually like. And in the installation, it was dope. You walk through, they kind of give you the history of the shoe. They had 3D printers right there live printing out the shoes. And at the end of the installation, you had a chance to win a pair of the shoes. And guess what? Ding, 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 your girl won. I won. Yes, I won a pair of the new Air Max 1000s. I can't wait. I'm going to show you on my socials how you order the shoes because all of it is digital. I don't even know what color I'm getting yet. But I won some shoes. And, a girl don't really usually win anything. So I was really excited. But overall, I think that ComplexCon is needed here in Las Vegas. We need the culture. I mean, the way the city embraced ComplexCon, I think it was truly a very 420 friendly event. Okay. But the fashion and the vibes, and we saw Travis Scott, we saw Metro Boomin. I mean, just the energy around all of that was just so dope. And, you know, there was just too much to do, really. I think Chris and I walked 13,000 steps both days, Saturday and Sunday. So when I say there was a lot of walking, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to explore, ComplexCon, Las Vegas loves you. Please, please, please consider coming back in 2025 because, I mean, I would be there every single year to cover it.